Questions
Okay.
about your first ever experience with the Portland Harbor Superfund. How did you learn about it?
It wasn't much, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I really didn't know anything about what was going on. Over the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, I've gotten a lot more information. It kind of comes in waves.
Yeah.
I didn't know much. It's just kind of like a homeless thing. Once you're in it, you just kind of have to feel your way around it until you get a pretty good idea what's going on. And that was kind of the way I was with with Portland Harbor Community Coalition. I just was told to go to a meeting, basically, and I went to a meeting and I said, hey, I can get behind this.
I was told to go to a PHCC meeting while you had a right to survive meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing. In order for us to stay down there, we have to do some kind of activism. So that was one of the very first groups I got involved with when I came into after I got situated down at Wright Journal. So the more information, the more learning I got, the more it was, this is a problem. And then I started thinking, well, like I was talking about the intersectionality towards a lot of these justices. And then I was kind of putting kind of that, the environmental justice with the social justice. And I'm going, wait, these are, and I got to looking at all of it, and I'm going, wow. One affects the other, affects the other, affects the other.
Prior to you with Right to Survive and PHCC, have you had experience in public participation processes?
No.
No experience. So this is where you got it all.
This is a funny story. About 2015, we, with another organization down in San Francisco, introduced Homeless Bill of Rights in the state legislature. Now, I went down there, the first time I went down there for a lobby day was the first day in my life that I stepped foot in the state capitol. And I'm going, okay, I like this. And then I got to kind of learn about the process of how the legislature works and this and that. And
as much as they're trying to wrestle.
it's kind of appealing. When you're trying to learn something, I think I do better when I am just kind of feeling it out and trying to look, trying to figure it out a little bit on my own. If I have specific questions that I don't know, that's where I'll ask. But it's kind of like. I've learned, most of what I've learned, I've kind of learned by going to meetings and just kind of shutting my mouth and just observing.
What do you think would make it easier for folks in your community to get involved in the public engagement process?
That's a tough question, and that's a question I've been asking a lot of people, but really not coming up with a concrete solution to. Because I think we have within the homeless community a sense of, I think it's a sense of, well, what's the use? What is the use of standing up and saying that ain't right, or you're not doing this or that. Before I was homeless, I never had that myself. I was more of a, let somebody else do it. I've never been the one really to stand up and say I'm fighting for me. Until I got down there.
I was going to ask you, did EPA...
And that, I feel, has been, for me, the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Because now I can stand up and say,
Before the
no,
proposal came out?
you said this,
And I was just wondering,
or
like,
no,
because
you're wrong,
we're just
or
looking
no,
at,
this is what you said, and now you're going back, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm fine, and that's one thing we're supposed to do down there too, is stand up and fight for our rights, as well as our rights and everybody else's rights within within the homeless community.
No one is gonna read the proposed plan anyway.
And sometimes I'm telling you, it's really hard. It's really hard to continue, but you just gotta push yourself into keeping that going, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times I felt like to throw my hands up and say, oh, what's the point?
So, what are some of the things that you value in the current community engagement process you've experienced?
We should take the date
as
thing,
far
I
as the
might
site
just go and
goes.
like,
Seems like being able to stand up for your rights.
Yeah, that's the biggest one for
This
me.
can be community engagement through EPA and also through PHCC.
Also, if it's only a 60-day contract.
Well, I think another part of that too is that I've finally gotten to the point where if I go to City Hall and testify in front of City Hall, it's just like talking to 5 individual people.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And people are like, I'm freaking out, I gotta do this.
That was me.
No,
Yeah, when I-
no, it's
Yeah.
just like you're just sitting there talking to 5 people.
That was me when I first went to Salem. For every year, there's like a lower tuition,
Mhm.
and we talked to people in the Capitol. But it was stressful the first time.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
doing it over and over and over and over again, you get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go to City Hall now and testify on just about anything and be all right. You know, it's just, they're people. And I think what's a little intimidating for a lot of people is that they're in positions of power. And that can be a very intimidating thing on its own right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, just can't let that get to you.
How about with what things that PHCC does, especially? Is there anything that you really value that the organization does to try to increase community engagement? Some of their
Well,
processes?
see, I think that's the big problem with any grassroots organization is the outreach. I'm finding, with our homeless bill of rights
Yeah.
or anything like that, getting the message out or the idea that we're doing that, getting it out to people is tough. And especially when you don't know how to go about doing that.
Yeah, well, and they
You
have,
know,
like, the one person, they have, like, they do have, like, some people that are.
I mean, we could do all that outreach, but if we aren't getting any engagement back, that's kind of, you know, I don't want to say what's the point, but that's basically the way it kind of feels like. But I know we're doing good, so that keeps me going.
Yeah.
So is that where you're looking for kind of alternative ways to engage people, like through public art or?
Well, one thing we're trying to do, and it's kind of like,
They were all like, we wouldn't have ended up doing any of this if it wasn't for the.
we're getting a couple we have a PowerPoint presentation that me and a couple other people did up in Madras, and we're going in June, about the middle of June, to Bend, and doing. We're slowly but surely getting, some type of outreach going. It's slow and arduous, but if we get more and get a kind of a momentum going, I think you can get it out there a lot faster.
Yeah.
But that's the hard thing, is getting
Yeah.
it started,
Yeah.
And that's not to say that PHCC.
We're asking 2 other individuals involved with PHCC their opinions on community engagement, with how it's been for through the EPA, how it's been through the city of Portland, which is like very low. We just had that one survey, and how PHCC is trying to change that, and it's been interesting to hear
Washington
about this big
State.
obstacle in
Yeah.
outreach.
Yeah.
And
Well, I do believe
And
that,
they got the
uh,
tag, yeah.
And here Willamette River.
you know,
they
whether-
won't respond to emails either.
you know, City Hall,
I don't mind
you know, we know that they're the responsible party,
Yeah.
but I think they also need to know,
And then they went and they.
what
Oh,
their
they already did it?
responsibilities are,
Yeah.
and hold them to those responsibilities.
And they're not.
they're elected officials. They're
That's
supposed to
fact.
be there for the,
They,
for
they,
the
they,
citizens. Yeah.
they're no more above being held accountable for you or me.
Yeah.
You know, if I break a law, I'm going to be held accountable. You know, that's just the mere fact of the matter. The more that testify
Yeah.
and say, hey, we need more community involvement here.
Yeah.
We need to get this out so that affected parties
No one is getting paid to do this.
get
Right,
what
for
they
sure,
deserve.
For sure.
Okay?
Yeah, go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
Like
When you went to City
Clean
Hall,
River,
was there any media coverage or
uh,
anything like
Yeah,
that?
kids
good paying jobs,
covered it, and then,
housing for the
the next week,
Mhm.
the Mercury.
all these
really
things
awesome article, actually, and
are
they
going
have a link
to, in the long run,
Yeah, I have.
benefit Portland if they would
Yeah.
invest a little bit of time into it. But that, like you say, that one survey, and that's it. That's been it.
They are waiting to put something out into a closed
Been it.
comment period, I think, so we're kind of in touch with them.
Sorry,
Yeah.
inadequate.
What do you hope the Willamette River is going to be like in 20 years?
Give us a contact.
You know, the Willamette River will probably never be totally clean,
Yeah.
okay?
So can you
But
tell me the public
this is
comment
the
period? Does it
quote
not- does
that
it start
really
with
bothers
telling
me
police?
is
It started
we
when
can
they released the
we can only
proposal,
clean it up
and
to
Michael, I guess, got an
acceptable
email
levels.
forwarded to me.
Well,
What does that mean?
exactly.
On the 23rd, they're gonna
What
announce
does
when they're
that
gonna release
mean?
the proposed.
Acceptable level.
Pushing it back more. So, but you know, this could be an opportunity to let
I shake my head.
You know, so.
Face plant, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Acceptable to you.
Yeah, which is definitely not going to be acceptable to me
Yeah.
as far as that river goes.
Yeah.
But in answer to your question, I want to be able. I mean, I like eating the salmon,
Yeah.
steelhead that goes through.
Yeah.
I like eating salmon, and I would like to be able to eat more than 8 ounces a month.
Yeah.
You know, from a health perspective, and I'm diabetic. That would help me out if I could eat more than 8 ounces a month,
So I wonder if they're doing this to.
and not wonder if I'm going to die because of the chemicals.
That's what this
Um,
is. And so then the Audubon Society.
That's what I want to see.
turned around and made their own
The other part
So
is
they
I
were
just,
like, well, screw
once
you
we
guys.
start
If
getting
you're
that
gonna
started
request all
cleaning
this stuff,
up,
we're gonna
that
request it.
contamination's just going to run right downstream and contaminate more and more and
Who
more.
did this for the city?
Now, I was going to bring this up because there's a third option
Like those environmental. groups
that
are like the-
EPA is
They're the CAG, right? They're in charge of the.
considering,
They're
and it's
involved.
very
They're not-
high on their list.
CAG is yeah.
It's really different
Outside of
from
dredging
it's
and
not really like
capping,
environmental groups,
do
it's
nothing,
like
and let
tribes.
nature take its course,
Yeah, the tribes.
which is
The tribes.
not an option as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so that Freedom of Information Act. request,
Because, like I
in
said, that's
theory,
gonna
is
go
probably
right downstream.
Part of why it's been going on.
So I think they're gonna have to come up with some, you know, some ideas there somehow, I don't know.